Hey, welcome back to the channel. I am really glad you're here because today I'm going to do the first tilling of the season. I hooked up the rototiller on the B2601 yesterday, and I'm actually doing a job off the property. I'm going to go over to Dan's house, and he wants me to till up a garden plot for him. So I'm going to trailer the B2601 for the first time since I've done some rebuilding on this trailer. Now, of course, it still has some problems. I still haven't replaced the deck boards yet, but the 4 outer boards, 2 there and 2 on the other side, are strong. The middle ones are rotten, but I think the tractor's just going to straddle that anyway. So I'm going to get around to that, but otherwise, you know, the trailer's kind of ready to go. So I hope you'll follow along for that. Yesterday, I had kind of a blue day. The wallpaper on my phone is one of the last pictures of Lizzie standing there with her mom. And I picked up my phone yesterday, and it was 2:30 exactly. And it made me think of a time when I texted Lizzie years ago and said, hey, what's the best time to go to the dentist? 2:30, you know, and it was just one of those silly dad jokes, but of course she liked it. So kind of put me in a funk yesterday, but I also thought it's neat when you can be sad and smile at the same time. So cheers to Lizzie, just thinking about her. And now let's do some tilling. I always take my block with me because I never know if I have to unhook the trailer when I'm on site somewhere, so I take the block with me. Maybe we all know this, but I was taught years ago to cross your chains so that if the hitch comes off, it kind of gives it a net to land in. So cross your chains goes through my head every time I hook up the trailer. I really hate these ramps. The forecast said rain today, so it's overcast and a little bit of spit coming down right now, but it doesn't look like it's going to be any kind of heavy rain, so I'm going to try and do this regardless. So this tractor is only like 4 feet wide, so it's not really straddling those broken boards too well. The back one is at least half on a good board. This front wheel is a little bit on a good board, but there's a cross piece right there. And not to mention the bucket is wider than all of it. So if the tractor were to crash through the trailer, the bucket's going to catch it. I know this is not the best situation, but I'm going to work on it. I promise I'm going to get it done. Now you're all saying, how's Ed going to strap this thing down? Well, I'm only going about 3 miles. So if I was going a long trip, I probably wouldn't do this, but I'm just going to strap it over these cylinders here. You know, these edges aren't too sharp, but I realize on a long trip they could chafe the strap material. But I just want to get there, get this done. And again, it's a really nearby trip. I drove the tractor there last year when I did this, so this will be new. That doesn't fit in there. How about that? All right, do it that way. I have not yet mastered what to do with the slack. Some of you guys are really good at this, and I know you roll it up and then tuck it, tie it, but I just haven't mastered that yet. I'm not good with knots either. You know what I think it is? I think that knots are almost, hey Kerm, I think knots are almost like a mathematical equation, and I feel like I get overwhelmed when I watch somebody tie a knot. Like after the first 3 steps, I'm like, you lost me. I'm gone. So I'm just going to roll this up and tuck it. Again, it's about a 3-mile trip. If I would have drove the tractor there, I would have been there by now. So, but I wanted to do this just so I could get used to it and try it out, basically. Now I know that I really need to replace those boards because the tractor is not as wide as I thought. Bet that'll hold for 3 miles. It's kind of frustrating that this doesn't fit through the pocket, and the only way to hook it is on the outside, which I don't like, because when you try and hook it and then you walk to the other side of the tractor, it falls off. Anyway, that is frustrating. I don't think there's a trick for that. Wait. See what I did there? It's a weight. I'll tell you, I'm really learning a lesson here this morning. I've been thinking about doing some side work, like some small tractor work, some rototilling of gardens, simple small jobs, to try to make a quick buck. Already I'm seeing, I'm spending all this time loading up the tractor, tying it down, thinking about what can you charge to do work. But your work begins long before you get on site. And if I'm going to spend an hour getting ready to go, you have to think about that. Now, I don't know what that means as far as what to charge, because you can only charge so much to rototill a garden. But anyway, that's what I've been thinking about, and this is a good experiment for me. All right, got her tied down tight. I think we're ready to go. So those are my thoughts about doing some small tractor work. It's really tough to figure out what to charge. You don't want to overcharge, but you also don't want to give your time away, because like I said, I've already spent an hour getting ready to go here for something that's 3 minutes away. But anyway, I think the tilling would be the easiest thing to do, and I figure you'd be on site. The average garden tilling job would be less than an hour, so you'd be less than an hour on site, so you'd have to charge a 1 hour minimum, and then you figure how far you'd have to travel for that. I don't know what people would be willing to pay. I'm gonna have to just think about it more, but I will count on you to comment and let me know what you think, or maybe you do this kind of work, and what do you charge for it? Made it just in time for the wind to kick up and starting to rain a little bit more, but as long as it's not pouring rain, that'll be all right. So here's the garden area. It's probably about 12 to 14 by 20, and they threw some cow manure down there. There's a little bit of straw mixed in, so we're curious if that straw is going to break up from the tiller or if it's just going to get wrapped around the tines. That'll be a good little experiment. Otherwise, we're just going to till back and forth several times, make it a little bit wider. And I've got one obstacle up here. I don't have to worry about too much. It's far enough away, but I do have a little tree right there, so gotta remember that when I'm looking behind me. Well, there it is. It chopped it up pretty well. That straw didn't really break up a lot, but it did mix it in with the soil, the straw and the cow manure. So smells good, looks pretty good. I think as always there's going to be some hand raking that Dan's going to have to do. I've got a clump there against the fence over there, and then some piles in the back. But you know, gardening is a lot of manual labor. The tractor does a great job getting you started, but then after that, I mean, if you're not willing to do the work, you might as well not till the garden up. That looks a little better. Anyway, I think they'll be very happy with that. Where the wind is really kicking up here. So I should have looked at the clock, but I'm guessing I spent about 30 minutes on this, and I tilled it 5 or 6 times. I tried going in opposite directions as far as across one way and then across this way, but I have a lot of obstacles here. There's a playhouse and things, so I couldn't really get the distance I need side to side, so I mostly went back and forth. Anyway, hit it again 5 or 6 times. It got nice and powdery. The straw didn't actually break up because it's not completely dry, I guess, so it just kind of wrapped around, but it did mix it in, so that's not too bad. But yeah, so about 30 minutes. But again, time-wise of loading up the trailer, getting over here, you know, I've got a couple hours into this already. So let me know what you think about charging people to till gardens and to do small tractor work. What do you charge, or what do you think an appropriate charge would be? All right, well, thanks for watching today. I do appreciate it. If you've not yet subscribed to the YouTube channel or followed on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, I invite you to join me. Thanks for being here, and as always, I look forward to seeing you next time.